All right, lads. Big up. Big up. New Year's Eve live stream. We're doing this, lads. It's going to be, what, 2 hours? 2 hours till midnight? We're going to do this. I'm going to get you over the midnight hump. For those who aren't lucky enough to go to house parties, I tried. Couldn't find anything. Couldn't find anything. None of the lads could find anything. So I said last night, we'll do this. We'll do a long live stream. We'll do a long one. So we get a few people in. Yeah, a few people in the building, and we'll go. I'll be your host for the next about 2 hours. Lads, 2020 for boxing. 2020 for boxing. It's not been that bad for boxing anyway. In terms of the year, we won't go there. But in terms of boxing, it ain't been a bad year. I think Alex agrees with me there. Let's see where he says. I would say boxing fans, we had some pretty good 20. Yeah, we didn't have a bad year. Us boxing fans, it was the thing about boxing was, right? It was tough at the start. Lads, it was tough at the start. MMA were putting on fights, in April? Literally in April on Fight Island. We waited really until the end of July before we got any fights in. Man, they were hard months. I mean, geez, we were having to recycle shit in order to get through those months. Seriously. Like, anytime someone said anything on Twitter, we had to do a video on it. I mean, that was how bad it was getting. But, yeah, look, 2021 is going to start the way 2020 ended, unfortunately. But we still have boxing. Big up Troll Network every time. Big up TT. Big up G-Man. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. Of course, house parties. Man, if you're lucky enough to get to one, I'm jealous. Zabel, what's up, G-Man? Big up, big up. Give me 2 seconds. I'll stay with you, but yeah, there we go. Had to fix something there. Yeah, literally, look what Rich says there. That thumbnail is everyone's 2020. It is, lad. That's literally what it is. It's everyone's 2020, that thumbnail. You know, your plans for the year, and then boom. And then boom. 2020 rolls in. G-Man's Rocks. Big up to Ben every single time. Glad I'm not the only one, the only sado out there. Man, there's not a lot we can do. There's not a lot we can do. Alex says it's 2 a.m. where you are. Man, bro, where are you? Whereabouts in the world are you, mate? Now, it's 10:03 here in Ireland, in Dublin, right? We're going till midnight. We're going till midnight, lads. I haven't done I've done 2-hour live streams before, but I haven't done one in a couple of months, right? So I've got the water at the ready. I had everything good to go. So we're getting over the midnight hump. Big up to Joe Stunner every time. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks, of course. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. Happy New Year. You too, mate. You too. Hope you had a good Christmas. Big up to everyone in the chat, lads. And before, I want to say big up to CG. Big up, everyone. Yeah, big up to you, man. Did I catch the Tanaka Ioka fight? Yes, I did. Man, that was a good fight. I had so much trouble finding a stream for that fight. Kraken wasn't giving me anything. And another website wasn't giving me anything either. Although it was giving me links. It was giving me links to the fight. But every single link I clicked on, it would just not take me to it. So I was starting to lose hope on it. I got there in the end. Hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. I thought Tanaka would win. I really did. I thought Tanaka would win. But Ioka proved me wrong. I thought Tanaka's youth would get him over the line. Ioka's not old, but I thought that just Tanaka's energy, his youth, would get him over the line. But damn, I was wrong. I didn't see a stoppage coming, but that left hook, man. And that referee, not perfect. He was on point with that stoppage. What a shot. I couldn't believe it, man. It's just the way and the timing of that left hook. I mean, Tanaka, that left hand down a little bit low. That left hook just went in so quick, and he was out on his feet. I mean, that referee stoppage, perfect stoppage. I mean, Tanaka was still out on his feet, moments later. Like, he was getting held to the ropes. There was not even any protests. I didn't see a stoppage coming, to be honest with you. I thought both guys would win Well, I thought if Bokai was to win, it'd be on points. I just didn't see a stoppage in that fight coming. Man, what a fight. Big up to Ioka, though. I got to say, man, hell of a fight. Hell of a fighter. Pound for pound, definitely. But yeah, I was glad I got to see that fight, man. Definitely glad I got to see that fight. Yo, look who we got. We got Mark Unrivaled. Unrivaled. Man, he got Ioka winning. You got it right, bro. You got it right. But yeah, it was a hell of a fight, man. I'm glad I watched it. Glad I watched it, man. Hell of a fight. Are you not having any New Year's Eve drink? Right. This is the kind of height of my evening, right? The show is here, right? Got this. So look at that. 2 and a bit liters of water. I have a bottle of Guinness, or a can of Guinness. I have a can of Guinness brewing in the fridge that I'm going to have after this. Yeah, that's 2020 in a nutshell, isn't it? That is literally 2020 in a nutshell. You have your a can of Guinness in the fridge because 2020's robbed you of the rest. So that's literally my plans for the evening. Because none of my friends are doing anything either. Like, I was just texting one of my mates there. It looks like he's in his dressing gown at home watching telly. And he's about a year younger than I am. So yeah, 2020's really got us all. Had to come and stop by for a few. Long week of training has me dead tired. Man, big up every time to you, mate. Anyway, big up to you for dropping in. Big up to Dan every time. Las Vegas, man. Next year, I'd love to get over to there. Your 2020 was great. You fulfilled your New Year's resolution to troll the fuck out of people. Yeah, you've been Hatman. Public enemy number 1 in Hatman Streams Troll Network. Public enemy number 1, lad. Big up to Devin. Happy New Year to you all guys on here. And the G-Man. May you have a blessed new year next year. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. We will, man. Lads, right, 2020's been a write-off, right? It's been a write-off for all of us, right? I'm telling you now, lads, right? 2021, I have that feeling, right? I just have that feeling it's going to be a good year, all right? It's going to be a good year. I don't know why. 2021, we going to get there, lads. We going to get there. 2021 could bring Crawford, Spence, AJ Fury, imagine. Right, Crawford, I can't see. I got asked this question last night a good bit, Toby, right? AJ Fury, I just can't see them doing that without fans. If not, they're going to take it abroad to Saudi, or Dubai, or where Qatar, somewhere like that, Bahrain maybe, where they have money. They might not necessarily need the biggest fan base, but they will really, go full tilt. They'll really go full tilt with the price of tickets. I just can't, if they can't get fans in, that's not happening in the UK, because that's a Wembley filler easily. And yeah, they ain't gonna. What's up, G-Man? Big up to Eddie. What are you drinking this evening? Well, I water and Guinness. A bottle of Guinness, lad. A can of Guinness and water. And it's ice cold water, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Big up to Tony Boswell every single time. Big up to you, my friend. Happy holidays and happy new year. Peace and prosperity to you and your families, man. Appreciate that, bro. Big up every time, man. Big up every single time, man. I say, is it forbidden to go to NI now? I have no idea. God only knows. I don't go to NI too much, to be honest with you. I go Belfast the odd time, very rarely. I don't think I've ever been. Well, I would have driven through counties on the way to Belfast, but I've only ever really been Belfast. I like Belfast. It's not bad. It's not some people's cup of tea, but I like it. I like it, man. I like it. Ryan Garcimpa. Oh, man. They done the face-off, lad. They done the face-off. 2020 equals 1941 without Hitler. There are fireworks in London already, Dan. Jesus. So Matt Hancock's dead, is he? Joking. No. He's still going. He ain't going to go anywhere. Big up to Dean. Big up every time. Happy New Year. I already read that. Sorry, my bad. Big up to James every time. Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. Shout out D. Big up D every single time. Speak Your Mind Sports. G-Man's Rocks. Yes, bro. Man, big up every single time. Never knew you were from Swords until I heard your stream last night from Rush myself, Small World. Man, Rush is actually not bad. I like Rush. I like Loch Shinny better. It's real nice. The houses up there are lovely. But yeah, man, from Swords true and true. Lived there I lived there my whole life, man. Yeah, but Luke and McCann from Rush. I mean, that's only what 10 minutes away. No, a little bit further. Rush is further. That's Lusk I'm thinking of. But yeah, bro. The Swords all the way. Phil, Pidge, and Mike Tyson. Happy New Year, guys. Do you know what? I never liked New Year's myself, to be honest with you. I never really celebrated it. I think I celebrated Jesus. I've only ever been to a few New Year's Eve parties, to be honest with you. I never really celebrated too much. And you know what, right? You'd know this year would have been like, yeah, I want to celebrate it. And it would be 2020. So, oh, man. Well done by Ioka. I was on the fences, couldn't pick a winner. Yeah, I was looking at both guys. I thought it was a tricky fight to pick, but I just went with Tanaka just on the U pretty much more so than anything else. But damn, that was some shot by Ioka, man. Really, really good shot by Ioka. That left hook came out, and I wouldn't mind. But Tanaka had quite a good round in the 7th. He was doing some good work in the 7th. That 8th round, I didn't see a knockout coming, to be honest with you. I really didn't. Rewatch GGG versus Jacobs just now. I had it 8-4, 7-5 to Jacobs. Yeah, I had it about the same 7-5. Do you know what's odd, right? I remember the build up to that fight. It was weird, right? It was weird. The build up to that fight, I couldn't really see Jacobs doing it. But I knew Jacobs was athletic, but I couldn't really see him doing it. Watch the fight. I thought he won. I thought he'd done just enough to nick it, right? But ever since then, right, and Jacobs looked good in that fight. Ever since then, other than really the Canelo fight, and he obviously lost that fight, but he had moments in there. Other than that, Jacobs hasn't really looked amazing. He's never looked as good as he did there. To me, it would kind of imply that Triple G maybe stylistically fits Danny Jacobs' style a bit better. So maybe he brought out the best in Danny Jacobs. Or maybe Danny Jacobs is one of those guys where he needs to fight these elite guys for us to see the best out of him. Because he fought that Luis Aries guy, and Luis Aries fought very negatively, and Luis Aries got hurt badly by Luke Keeler in his next fight. Then he fought Selecki, and that was a tough fight, although he did drop Selecki heavily in that fight. And, Derevchenko was actually a decent win, but still, he was shaky in that fight. So he's never really looked as good as he has in the Triple G fight. Maybe it was a styles thing. Maybe stylistically, Triple G just fits Danny Jacobs better than most. I think that could be what's happened there. In 12 months' time, how many subscribers would you like to have? Right. Maybe ambitious, but I would love, and you got to look big. Maybe too ambitious, but maybe 10K. But maybe more realistic would be 7. Because I done 2K this year, subs, because I went into last year with like a little over 1,000. And it was growing so quick until boxing stopped. Then it died, and boxing took back off, and it got back to where it was pretty quick. So let's say we could have had an extra 500-600 subs. Maybe not that many, but let's say an extra 300-400 subs in that time. If we keep going the way we're going, we could definitely do good next year. We definitely. And everyone in the chat, big up. A big up to Speaker Mind Sports every time. Hatman said no mass. Oh man, that was funny. That was funny. Bet you get a nice El Guinness over there. I'll tell you this, right? When I was in London, right, I needed to get change. So I was in the Premier Inn in Stratford, right? And I went to the bar, and I just stick to what I know. So I just said to the barman, I'll get a Guinness, right? He literally poured like barely a quarter glass of Guinness, barely let it settle, and poured the rest. And I was looking at this guy. I was like, mate, I can't drink that. He's like, he's from East London. He's like, what do you mean, mate? I was like, mate, you can't drink a Guinness like that. I'm telling the barman how to pour the Guinness. He didn't even tilt it. I was like, tilt it, let it go to just the top, leave it for about 30 seconds, and then pour it. And I was like, oh, this is good. I was like, oh, geez, this is going to be muck. Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. You get it over here, it's nice. But I don't really like drinking. I don't drink Guinness too much. I drink it now and again. The only reason I have Guinness with me is because the actual house party I was at last week, the guy just gave me a couple of cans, and I was like, all right, I'd normally just drink beer. Yeah, I normally just drink beer, but he gave me free Guinness, so I'm not going to complain. Damn right. It's going to be a good year next year, G-Man. It is, D. It is. I just have that feeling. I've had that feeling for a while, for like a couple of days now, just thinking about next year. I've been like, lads, it's going to be a good week. In 2021, it's because it's not going to stay the same. You know, everything. It's not going to stay like this forever. So it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. We're going to see some people absolutely traumatized, though, next year. Like, I mean, some people will never get back to how they once were, but that's fine. But next year be a good year, man. It'd be a good year. 2020 was very enlightening and informative year for me. I grew greatly this year and learned a lot, positive momentum going into 2021. Yeah, you know, it taught me an awful lot as well. It showed me a lot about like people's true colors. Like it really had. You know, I mean, I it's been an eye opener. That's what I will say. But the good thing is, a lot of the people in my own personal life, they've stayed. A lot of them are on my level, so we're all good. We're not losing anyone. That the people we have kind of lost have been people who've just like, you know, they weren't in my life that long anyway. So it is what that is. Dubai looks normal right now. Yeah, so do those countries do. I think Bahrain, though, they still aren't allowing fans in because I know the F1, they didn't have any fans in it. That was only the start of December. I'm pretty sure there was no fans in it either at the Grand Prix. Infuriated. Oh, yeah, I think it is. I definitely think it is. I think infuriated. If they don't get fans in, there's no way. There's no way they're going to do that. Yeah, Big Dan. Matt Hancock fake crying. He was laughing. That Matt Hancock, man, we have someone similar called Tony Holohan over here. Don't like him at all. But Matt Hancock makes Tony Holohan look like Mother Teresa. He really does. You want to get to Vegas and I want to go to Ireland, fam. Man, you see, that's the funny thing, D, right? I haven't been to the States yet. I haven't been to America, right? Been all over Europe. Well, I've not been all over, but I've been a good few places in Europe, but I've not been to the States yet. Don't want to go Canada. Never. I don't really want to go Canada, but I want to go States. And Vegas or NYC or Boston will be top of my list. I just want to see what Vegas has to offer. A few of my mates have been there. They said it is dear. Like they said, $3,000 wouldn't even get you 4 days. So I'm bearing that in mind. My 2022 is to go to Vegas for a big fight. Yeah, exactly. You know, consider it. I've had mates who've gone to Vegas. One of them saw Tyson Fury versus Wallen. She's not even a boxing fan, but she knew it was on, so she said, "Right, let's just go." So it's like, damn. They've seen bigger. Well, I've seen Fury fight live anyway, but I watched them fight Pianetta. That wasn't fun. I reckon, yeah. No, I reckon we're getting Billy Joe. I reckon we're getting Billy Joe. Dubs everywhere. And look at that, D. D-Man's rocks. Yes, hashtag D-Man's rocks. What do we think? What do we think, man? For what it's worth, I live in London, but Ben's from Malahide. There you go, man. Ben's from Malahide. Yeah, Unrival even says Malahide's only a stone's throw away from Swords. And believe you me, you get some people from Malahide, right? There's like a part of Malahide that is just on the cusp of Swords called Seabury. It's fucking Swords, right? But if you say to someone from Seabury or from Swords, oh, they don't like that. Oh, they don't like that at all. I picked it, yeah, man. That's why you and Mark are ahead of me in the prediction league. Because I kind of, I really don't like that. Yeah, I really, it it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. You are ahead of me. I topped it once. I'm happy with that. But you guys, yeah, you were at it longer than me. It's always next season, D. It's always next season. In the words of Michael Buffer, let's get ready to rumble. Get into this. As you seen with my plaque, lad, let's get into this. Lakshini, nice, but not a sinner in it. That's the only thing. Yeah, it's very quiet, but I like quiet. I'm more a fan of that, bro. I'm more a fan of that. But yeah, Swords is good crack. Good night. Yes, chalk is a. I love chalk. Once 2021 comes, me and the lads are getting back to chalk 100%. Yes, I love chalk. It is good fun. It is real good fun, chalk bar. I love chalk bar 100%. I was on the fence, stoppage or decision, but Ioka all the way. I didn't see. I watched both guys, and I was like, both these guys are tough. I was like, there ain't going to be a stoppage in this fight. I didn't think there would be, but I was watching not long before I went on live. I watched that again, and I was watching that left hook. Oh man, that was just perfect. The speed of it. He didn't even need to drop Tanaka. Has probably been training on Tate the Beef too long. Look at his new physique. Oh, are we talking about Canelo, or are we talking about Ryan Garcia? Because that was the kind of topics that were going around last night about Garcia's physique since he's been training with Canelo. He is looking like Mr. Universe since he's been training with Alvarez. What do you make of Johnny Fisher, heavyweight prospect? I've heard of him now. I've heard of him plenty of times, but I haven't seen much of Johnny Fisher. So I don't comment too much until I've seen him. I only actually was looking at him today, actually, believe it or not, like on his box rec, but I don't comment. I'm not going to comment until I see more of Johnny Fisher. Jared Anderson is a good shout as a heavyweight prospect up and coming. That's what I will say. He's probably one of the heavyweight prospects I'm most keen to watch in 2021 is Jared Anderson. He's looking very good for me. What time is it there, G-Man? It is exactly now, Tony, 22 minutes past 10. Although my laptop is a bit slow or a bit fast. So yeah, it's about 22 minutes past 10. And if you could, smash the like button. We got 33 in the chat. We're going for 2 hours. I'm bringing you guys into the new year, lads. We're going into the new year. What do you think of Felix Alvarez versus DJ? Look, I think Alvarado, I put him down to win. The undercard for this fight is interesting, but it's the main event I'm really, really looking forward to, man. I can't wait for that fight. Man, I can't wait for that fight. Keep up the quality of your content is honestly really good. Keep up the good work. Man, big up every time. Dublin Airport, I designed a roundabout I designed the main roundabout and all the signs you see back in the days in the 2000s. Jesus, man. The roundabout, I drive around that roundabout all the time, man. All the time, man. Always driving around that roundabout. That guy, you big up the G-Man in the chat, of course. Big up, man. Big up to that guy. I wonder what Oscar is up to tonight. Oh, man. Don't think about what Oscar's up to. Don't want to think about what Oscar's up to. I bet he's having a wonderful time right now. Cocaine's cheap, and he's lost his cash cow. Rather sick. Yeah, man. Just think of all the white stuff Oscar can have with that. Just think of all the white stuff Oscar can have with that. Man, Oscar De La Hoya, man, he's gone to hell these last few years. He has gone to hell. I know what you mean. They pour it with the cute little clover on top. Yeah. Well, I've never had it with the cute little clover on top, man, to be honest with you. Never had it. I know a lot about what will happen next year, but stay positive. Anything can happen. Keep the faith. Man, that's all we got to do, man. That's all we got to do. We got to keep it. We got to keep the faith. We got to keep the faith. Patriotism. Yeah. Devin has there. This year has shown idiots come from all walks of life. Your own neighbor will call the police on you. So fuck patriotism. As I said many times, 2020 has shown us a lot of people. You know, there are so many people who are like, you know, oh, I'll gladly call the police on my neighbor if they have their family over, and there's too many of them. It's like, come on now. You know, you see that lad over there? Yeah, he's a wanker. Do you know why? Why? Well, let me tell you, right? He owns a gym, but he's still training people because he's trying to make a living. No, you can't make a living in 2020. It's selfish for you to want to feed your family. Unreal. Unreal. I applaud any gym owner who's keeping it going. I applaud them. Yeah, I feel you. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I've been lucky, Devin, that there's very few people I've met who've been like that. No, very few. I've met a few, and they're not really nice. They were never really nice people to begin with, if you know what I mean. Like, and I don't speak to them anymore. Like, these were a lot older than me. Anyway, these were like in their 40s and 50s, but they weren't stand-up people to begin with anyway. So it's no real loss. Most people I know, like just your average Joe, like people around me, like neighbors and all, they're all pretty good. They couldn't give a shit. So it's good like that. I know some busybodies. I'm kind of lucky where I am. No one really tends to give a shit. But I've known people from around other parts of the source, a place like that, who've been, real. Yeah, they've been real, not nice. I mean, imagine that. G-Man, did you see Jim Miller show off his? Oh yeah, we should be proud of him. Just kidding. He's a true. Yeah, he's playing the Vic. Jarrell Miller, right? I mean, right, Jarrell Miller, right? What do you want? What can I say about Jarrell Miller, man? He is just. Oh, he really like. It's almost like, right. He has one positive drug test, and he's like, "Yep, that gets rid of all the failed drug. That gets rid of all this, that, and the other." It's like, mate, you've been failing drugs tests left, right, and center for years. You've been, caught so many. I really, oh man, Jarrell Miller is just, he's got what, a 2-year ban, reduced to 18 months. Basically, they're going to reduce to 18 months. I really don't care if I never see him again. I really don't. Like, Jarrell Miller is just, I really just, I don't know. I wouldn't even watch him if he came back, to be honest with you. I wouldn't even cover him on my channel. I would just, if he comes back around it, and I'm just there, ignore it. If White Povetkin 2 happens, I think White stops him in 5. Povetkin is falling to pieces. Yeah, I'd be going with Dylan White as well, to be honest with you. And if that fight does happen, seriously, I reckon they'll try and push it to the summer. Seriously, I reckon they'll try their best to keep it going as long as they can. If Matt Hancock and his old Estonian bum chump had been from a working class background, they'd be collecting trolleys outside Astor. Don't get me started. Oh, Matt Hancock. What? You keep my patriotism. Thank you very much. Only way in these times, as Yuri Benzema said, is to have faith, patriotism, or both. Now, what we need to do, Dan, is we need to just make sure. We need to make sure that we're all good. We need to make sure that we keep the good people around us. That's the main thing. Know your circle. You're actually from Seabury, so he's from Swords. There you go. Big up the AAA. Dylan99 says Mandarin for a pint. They do a nice drink. I'll give them that. I haven't been Mandarin in a while, but they do a nice one. I'll give you that one. They do a nice one. What are your plans for tonight, bro? Well, it's what time now? It's 10:30. We're going all the way. We're going until what time? We're going until midnight. And as I said, your boy is on the heavy stuff. The water. Yeah, from Body First. Your boy's on the heavy stuff. So we keeping this stream going. Until midnight. You watch Billy Joe live a few times. The best was against Spike O'Sullivan. That was a school and a better fresh air from Billy Joe. Yeah, he really did school Spike O'Sullivan there. And that's what Billy Joe at middleweight. Very, very good fighter. Very, very, very good fighter at middleweight. Super middle, I mean, he's been fighting middleweights, to be honest with you. CB was referring to GGG and the Juice. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't rule it out, to be honest with you. I wouldn't rule out any of these guys on the top. Breathtaking. I wouldn't rule out any of this. What's that say? The group mind and patriotism is the same shit they manipulate now. Anyone involved in the group mind manipulation is easily manipulated. Man, that's the way it is. It's the way it is, unfortunately. You know what people are like. How you been keeping, man? Is all 100% AAA? Yeah, no, it's been good. You know, it's shit that we're stuck in this fucking crappy lockdown again. But what can you do? It is what it is. It is what it is for the time being. 2020 is over. right? So here's the bigger and better things. Here's the bigger and better things in 2021. And I genuinely believe, right, that 2021 will be a better year. I genuinely believe it. I don't know why. I don't know why. I genuinely believe 2021 is going to be a better year. All right. It's going to be a better year. All right. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I just have that feeling. It's hard to get worse, man. It's hard to get worse, right? It really is. But, we'll get there. We'll get there in the end. We'll get there in the end. We'll get there in the end. We're getting through. We're getting through to midnight. I went to Dublin for a couple of days and went to Bray for a week. Spent a week jogging up through Bray Head. Hell of a place. Yeah, Bray is actually quite nice. I like Bray. Wicklow was quite a nice county as well. I love Glendalough. If anyone's ever been there, it's really nice. It's really nice. There's a mountain walk in Glendalough. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's really good. So I would recommend anyone, if they're ever in Ireland, to do a Glendalough walk. It actually is quite good. It really is good. It's nice. It's a good bit away, though. And I remember when we were kids. Well, we weren't kids. We were fucking... How old were we? Jesus, we would have been about 17. Our school brought us up to Glendalough, and it was actually so goddamn funny because basically they rented this bus, and I mean, it was bad. It looked dodgy as hell. Got us to about halfway to Glendalough, and then boom, broke down with all of us in it. And we were stuck at the side of the road for a good 2 hours. And of course, this was like 2010, 2011. So they made us wait for the bus to get fixed. And then we were good to go. Oh, here's an interesting one. Jay Brown Prince. G-Man, who's the greatest Irish boxer of all time, in my humble opinion? Greatest Irish boxer. Probably Jimmy McLaren, or McLaren, is how you pronounce it. He fought Benny Leonard. He fought back in the late 20s and the mid to early 30s. He lived to quite a good age. He was like 96 when he died. In my opinion, he's probably the best. Steve Collins was all right, but he came when guys like Eubank and Ben were at the end of their career. And he really wanted the Roy Jones fight. I don't know why. I don't know why he wanted the Roy Jones fight. I don't think he would have beat Roy Jones. I mean, I think at that time, when he was a super middleweight, Roy would have still... Would he have been? No, he would have been a light heavy. Because I think Roy Jones fought Montel Griffin in 97, was it? But no, definitely Jimmy McLaren. McLennan, I forget the guy. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but he was from Down. And he's probably the best in my opinion. Hell of a fighter. Evening, Mark Francis. Evening to you, man. Do you know of Joe Joyce? Yeah, I've heard of him all right. The Irish bare knuckle guy. I've heard of him all right, but yeah, I know if you Google, this would be... You'd know this would happen in Ireland, right? If you Google Joe Joyce and you're using an Irish like Google, you don't get Joe Joyce the boxer come up first. You get the bare knuckle boxer coming up first if you Google Joe Joyce in Ireland. 2020 sucks. Yeah, true that. Only person in the world you can trust is yourself. To some extent, yes. I know that. Yeah. Nah, we can... No. Some people you can, but yeah, it can be hard sometimes. You kept yourself away for most of the year. This is probably why I've drawn to research and different philosophies. I don't need the confirmation and approval of those who I really don't care for. Well, I don't need the approval of anyone. Like, I mean, I really have never looked for anyone's approval, to be honest, which is not really something that I do. But yeah, I'm lucky. Most of my friends are still good, so I'm all right in that sense. A big up to Sarah. I hope we're better than that as a human race. Admittedly, not much. Keep Mason to Mason much simpler. I try not to. I do let people in from time to time, but I always have to make sure that they're good. They're good people. Know your tribe. Yo, G-Man, big up to JPK. Manners and respect. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, to mate Jacob Quigg. Happy New Year to you, man. What else we looking forward to? But lads, I want to know, right? We got a few people in the chat. I want to know what your predictions are for. I want to know, right? So I want to know. We got Ryan Garcia tomorrow. Oh no, not tomorrow. We actually got him on Saturday. We got Ryan Garcia. Most of the people in the chat last night were split. Like, it was literally kind of 50-50. I want to know what some of the guys in the chat tonight thinking of Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. Man, I want to know what your thoughts are. I want to know what your thoughts are on that fight. Because we're talking about, we got a lot of time to kill, lads. We got plenty of time to kill. We got plenty of time to kill. So I want to know what some guys are thinking about Garcia Campbell. In many ways, White versus Povetkin 2 is irrelevant. Fury and AJ will have 2-fight deals, so the Povetkin winner won't get a title shot for well over a year. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I have to agree with you on that. You see, Dylan White, he really did spell his own upset, because I don't know why. I was never really excited for that fight when it was first announced. Like, remember when that fight was first announced, right? It was going to be on, I think, the start of May, early in May, right? It was early in the start of May when that fight was first announced. And I was kind of like, how is it going to be? I was kind of like indifferent to it. And the closer we got to it, and we Dylan White saying this, constantly talking about, you know, after this fight, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. You were just like, shit, this has upset written all over it. You had all the trash talk and you had all this, and not even trash talking Povetkin. I was just like, this is going to end one way. This has upset written all over it. And that's what it is. And like, even if Dylan White wins, that mandatory is going to reset until the following year. So all this, if he beat Povetkin, he would have got a shot in 2021. We would be thinking about Dylan White versus Povetkin 2021. Now, Dylan White, he should have took that eliminator with Pulev 2 years ago when he had the chance. He should have took that AJ payday last year. It's a hard life right now. It's hard for us all. Love, strength, and peace to all. As I said, know your tribe. Big up to Sarah Brotherhood. Know your tribe. Well, peace to all. G-Man, do you box? Not anymore, man. Not anymore. I was never that good anyway. Look, I'm sure there are journeymen out there, absolute stinkers, who I could beat. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are absolute stinkers out there who I could beat. But right now, in terms of absolute like fighting or anything like that, nah, probably wouldn't have been. Roy Jones would have had, but yeah, Roy Jones would have beat the living crap out of Steve Collins. He would have absolutely lit him up like a Christmas tree. Loma versus Teofimo rematch. Who you going for? Teo, definitely. Lomachenko, he really hasn't learned much, I don't think, from that loss. He really hasn't learned much. So I'm going for repeat. I'm dipping in and out. Have a good night, everyone. Big up, CG. Big up. We're here till midnight, man. We're here midnight. We're here till midnight. Probably a little bit after, to be fair, lads. Steve Collins had a high work rate. He did have a high work. Like, Steve Collins was a good fighter. Like, he was. He was definitely a good fighter, Steve Collins. I make no mistake about that. He was definitely a good fighter. But like I said, let's look at this, what Joe has here. Steve was okay, but wins over Eubank and Ben flattered him, especially the two Ben wins. Ben was just picking up pace. When Nigel Ben beat Jaron McClellan, that was Nigel Ben gone. He took a hell of a beating against McClellan. Like, I remember they were saying, was it Nigel Ben said it himself, he was pissing blood after the fight. You know, he had the muscles in his neck stretched or something like that. But Nigel Ben took a beating against McClellan, and he lost to Sugar Boy Malinga not long after was it the second fight after he lost to McClellan? And he beat Sugar Boy Malinga in the past. So Nigel Ben was never the same after the McClellan fight. So that was not Nigel Ben. That was not Nigel Ben who fought Steve Collins on both occasions. He was better in the rematch, to be fair, but that wasn't Nigel Ben. All right, that was not Nigel Ben at all. Eubank, I mean, Collins done good mind games with Eubank, to be fair. Maybe he just had Eubank's number. But in terms of Joe Calzaghe is he would have he would have took care of Steve Collins, in my opinion. Yo, G, man. Big up, Jacob. Everyone bigging up CG. Big up to CG. Oh, where's a good question? Where was that? Where was a good question? Where was that? Some reason this like StreamYard skips a lot of comments sometimes. What's your thoughts on Paddy Donovan? I'm definitely interested to watch him. I think Paddy Donovan is looking good. He definitely looks good to me. I've been impressed with what I've seen so far from Paddy Donovan. I think early in his first early couple of fights, he was forcing his work a bit. He was looking too much for the knockout. Andy Lee seems to be very good. He's calm in the corner. You notice that with Andy Lee, he's very calm voice in the corner. I like what I see from him. The only thing is, this guy is in the welterweight division, right? He's in the welterweight division. Welterweight division, even at European level, it's not easy. Like, you go to European level, you're fighting guys like Avanesyan. That's not easy. So Paddy Donovan, although he looks good, he's in a tough division. Make no mistake about that. So we'll keep an eye on Paddy Donovan. But and I actually thought he was turning pro at 140. So I don't think he can make 140, to be honest with you. But we'll see. But Paddy Donovan, I'll keep my eye on him, but he's in a tough division. All right, I'll leave it. He's in a very tough division. Like, put it like this: you give Paddy Donovan 2 years solid training. Would you pick him and see how he improves? If he improves significantly, would you put him in with Ray Robinson, or would you feel comfy with that? Do you know what sort of way? So we'll see how he gets on in the new year. But I'll keep my eye on him. Do I follow Thomas Sheridan? I listen to some of Thomas Sheridan videos. Yep. There's things I do agree with him and things I don't agree with him on. But big things in 2021. Ben's fancying Luke on points. Cameron saying that Campbell will school Garcia. Interesting. Will Stokes, Campbell, Dan Garcia. I've gone with Garcia, by the way. That's my pick. Garcia on points. Seems like the consensus was, right, that Garcia, the people who were picking Garcia yesterday, they were all saying Garcia to win on points, but they were saying that it'll be on controversial on points. Garcia, it's pretty split, 50-50. You fucking pray Garcia knocks him out that one direction, look like. Yeah, I'm picking Ryan Garcia, but the guy is a diva. That's one thing I'll say about him. He is a little diva. Is GGG versus Munguia a good fight or not? Yeah, I think that's a good fight. I like that fight. I think it's be a very good fight. Remember, they were going to do that fight 2 years ago when Canelo got popped with the clan, and the WBA, or was it WBC, wouldn't sanction it or something like that. Remember, one of them wouldn't sanction it, and then Munguia ended up fighting Saddam Ali, winning the title. Now, he's been looking better since then. He's improved since then. He's big at the weight. Even for a middleweight, even though he's coming up in weight, he's still quite big at the weight. So it'll be interesting to see Munguia. Munguia is young. Liam Smith even said it, that Munguia, he's not as hard a puncher as Canelo. He throws a lot of punches, though. He's got a good work rate, but he's not a harder puncher than Canelo. Okay, so I'm sure he hits hard enough to give GGG some respect, or to get GG's respect. But I think the work rate, because GG can get overwhelmed, I'd see that fight being very good. I think Triple G would try and box Munguia. He'd keep the jab, kind of David Lemieux style. That's what I think Triple G would do. But I'd love to see. I think that's a very good fight. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Joe. I think Garcia will stop Luke Campbell as well. I think Garcia will stop. And I remember saying this last night, that Garcia is prone to getting dropped early enough in fights. He was dropped early against Linares. He was dropped early against Mendy, I believe. I think he was dropped early against Tommy Coyle. It might have been someone else. Was it Tommy Coyle? There was someone else who dropped him as well. It might have been Tommy Coyle, or it might have been someone else. But he certainly can get dropped, Luke Campbell. So I wouldn't bet against Garcia getting a stoppage. Fancy Luke Campbell if he fights with the right tactics and mindset. If I was Luke Campbell and I was Shane McGuigan, I'd be saying use your jab. Use your jab an awful lot. Keep the jab popping and see if you can offset him with the jab. Garcia, victim with the fact he's so fast, being able to get away with poor defense, footwork in the amateurs, but no match for Campbell. He does make mistakes, Luke Campbell. Definitely makes mistakes in there, or Ryan Garcia, I should say. Ryan Garcia definitely makes mistakes, but I think he should be okay. He should. I don't know. Like, I'm going back and forth. Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just have a feeling Garcia is going to do this. If he does, it'd be very surprised and very impressed if he manages. That real kid. That kid's a real one. I could see it, man. I could easily see Ryan Garcia stopping Luke Campbell. I don't see Luke Campbell stop. I suppose we don't know how good Ryan Garcia's chin is, but assuming it's all right, I can't really see Luke Campbell. That's one thing I can't see is Luke Campbell getting a stoppage. I could be wrong, but I can't see it. If Ryan Garcia could win 4 rounds, he'll get a close decision. Campbell will win close if he wins between 9 and 12 rounds. Yeah. And, this is on a Golden Boy show, right? We know, especially now, that Oscar has really nobody now that Canelo's gone. He's got Victor Ortiz and he's got Ryan Garcia. I think we're going to see a Canelo-like scorecard in this fight if it goes to points. You think Campbell will put it on him late? I think Garcia will be frustrated and a bit desperate. He realizes he ain't going to KO Luke. Decision, Luke. See, the decision on Luke, I could see Luke Campbell outboxing Ryan Garcia. But the thing that's kind of swaying me is like, will they give it to Luke Campbell? He's fighting away. It's on a Golden Boy show. You got to figure there might be some shenanigans with judging. Garcia, genuinely unsure, going to sit on the fences. Garcia, you're unsure. You don't want to know whether you want to say Garcia, but you don't want it at the same time, maybe. Interesting fight, fam. I'm wondering if Campbell can pull it off. Timing can nullify speed. Yeah, we know that. We definitely can see that. We saw that last night. Well, today with Ioka and Tanaka. You're right there, I have to say, because you timed that left hook like Ioka did, and Ryan Garcia's going to be in all sorts of trouble. If Ryan can weather the storm, Luke could beat him badly. It's going to be, man, I'm looking forward to it. And lads, let's not forget, right, how lucky are we, right, that this fight is happening early in the year, that January is actually looking like a decent little month for boxing. Because normally January, it's real slow. Like, it's normally February when we start getting some decent fights. On the other hand, Ryan could be what we think he is and come in there, weather a storm. In that case, he stops Luke between rounds 8 and 10. I didn't go for... Look, I put him down as a stoppage win on the prediction league this week, but I put him down, I think, for the 5th round, Ryan Garcia. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Which divisions in boxing is the most exciting right now? Superfly. 100%. Superfly, bar none. Think of like who we have, right? We have even the guys who aren't champions. We've got Quadras, Tanaka, we've got Ioka, Rumvasai. Who else do we have? We have Estrada, Chocolatito. I'm not going to say Calify because really he lost to Israel Gonzalez. And Israel Gonzalez is a good shout as well. Just think of all the guys we have at Superfly. Just listen to those names. They're all good fights. They're all good fighters. Man. Superfly is the best. And Superfly has been consistently a good division for years now. Like, for years, Superfly has been a really good division. That would be my pick for the top division in boxing. And that's the most exciting one. And look, we're getting a great fight next year. Right? We're getting Estrada versus Chocolatito. I'm thinking Estrada. Estrada's going to win that fight on points. But man, Chocolatito, he still has loads left. I was picking him to beat Calify. But I thought we might see Calify look a little bit better than he did. Because I thought Gonzalez really had regressed a bit more than he had. If this was the Chocolatito of 2015, oh boy, he really would have. And he gave Calify a beating now. He really would have went through him back then. But man, Superfly 115 is very good. Who else? Bantam has some good names. 154 has some good names. 130. There's a lot of good fights to be made out there, man. A lot of good fights to be made out there. 140 has very good names at it. Even, like, again, what you need to look at as well is that even though like divisions like 140 and 130 and 115, they all have different champions. But even the contenders, or we'll say contenders, even the guys vying for titles are good. Like I said, Rimvasai, Tanaka, Quadras still has a little bit left. Gonzalez, Incasas, I forgot about him. Look at all those names in one division. Man, great names. If Lomachenko opens up early in the rematch, he gets stopped 100%. 100% he gets stopped. Loma tried to bang with, if Loma tries to get stopped, Loma tried to bang it out with Teofimo in the 12th. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He was hurt by Teo in the 12th, and that's in the 12th round. If he starts doing that early on when Teofimo's fresh, he's going to get countered. He is going to get rattled. If you were Lopez, if you can't get any other fight, if you can't get like the Gervonta Davis fight, if you can't get the Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney fight, instead of fighting George Kambosos Jr., why not just give Lomachenko a rematch? Because he'd pay him more than Kambosos. You beat Kambosos Jr., you beat an undefeated guy, but Kambosos Jr., he's not a mate. He's not going to trouble Teofimo at all. Like, he beat Lee Selby, I thought, clearly enough, but like he still had moments in there where he didn't look good, and that's against Lee Selby. Lee Selby, I've never been convinced with him, even at featherweight. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I think that, look, if you were Teofimo, if they're paying you good money for a Lomachenko rematch, you've already beat him, and you really kind of have to not do the same, but you kind of know the blueprint how to beat him. Why not take it again? You know? Why not take it again? Really not convinced with Garcia, aside from his speed. His boxing ability is pretty average. I wonder how will he would improve under Canelo's camp. It's an interesting one. I mean, Canelo's team, Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso is a good trainer. Can't say I'm rooting for Luke. Feels like Ryan is overlooking Luke for Tank. Yeah, Ryan Garcia wants Tank Davis. He really, really wants Tank Davis. Ben versus McClellan, best fight I've ever seen live or on tape. Man, I was one when that fight happened. Tragic ending. Yeah, it really does. Molina beat Ben twice. The first was a gift. Yeah, I know the first one was close to Ben, but the second one definitely. Sugar Boy Molina took that. Sugar Boy Molina was a good little fighter. Well, Sugar Boy Molina wasn't a bad fighter. It was a Talani Malinga. Sugar Boy Malinga. Was I calling him Malinga? Sugar Boy Malinga was a good fighter. I think Calzaghe still holds, or I still hold Calzaghe is the best 168 so far, all around. Great work, great chin. Yeah, Calzaghe is underrated. He doesn't get enough credit, Joe Calzaghe. He really doesn't get enough credit. Said Joe Calzaghe was my hero in my lifetime, but never seems to get the kudos he deserves. No. He doesn't get the credit, which is a shame, because Joe Calzaghe, just even to watch him, he was entertaining. You could be like, I was entertained by a lot of Joe Calzaghe's fights. And, he literally destroyed Jeff Lacey. Like, that was a career that went up in flames after Joe Calzaghe finished with him. And that was the thing that I used to find amazing. Remember when Kell Brook was fighting Errol Spence, right? Or the lead up to Errol Spence. Now, I thought this was pretty disrespectful. They were comparing Errol Spence to Jeff Lacey, and they were saying that, Errol Spence is going to do the same, or Kell Brook's going to do the same job. I mean, Jeff Lacey, he had a decent left hook, nothing special, but he beat an ancient Robin Reed. Who else did he? Didn't really beat anybody other than that. So, Calzaghe to go in there and do that, because I think Calzaghe was the underdog in that fight, coming off injuries and stuff like that. Man, Calzaghe, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Great fighter. I think it's because he came after Ben and Eubank and Collins. He came after that. So I think if he'd been around in that time, I would have picked him over. Definitely over Ben. I like Nigel Ben. Eubank as well. Probably would have picked him over Eubank as well. Definitely Collins. Roy Jones, prime Roy Jones. No, personally, I think Roy Jones at 168 was just a beast. But though Joe Calzaghe, I would pick Andre Ward over Joe Calzaghe though. Now, when I say I pick him, very close decision for Andre Ward. But I think Andre Ward be able to neutralize a lot of Joe Calzaghe's advantages. I think he'd take it to the inside. I think that'd be a good fight as well. But Calzaghe just doesn't get the credit he deserves. Are you a spiritual guy, G-Man? Depends by what you mean isn't spiritual, man. I definitely believe in a lot of the unseen and stuff like that. Definitely. Oh, that spiritual stuff 100% look into. Chakras and stuff like that. I said yesterday to beat GGG, you need to gain respect, and for that you need power. And Munguia has that. He does. He does have punch, and he's got volume. He's got volume. He's got volume. GGG should beat Munguia, but it could be a fight where GGG turns old on us. Yes. If Yard was as good as Munguia, he'd have won the Kovalev match. Exactly. That Yard win for Kovalev is not looking as good now as we see, what's going on with Yard and losing to Lyndon Arthurs. It really makes that win look a little bit more not as good, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look as good, if you know what I mean. I mean, if Yard had gone in there with Lyndon Arthurs and blown him out with water, you would have said, shit, Jesus, he looked good doing that to Lyndon Arthurs. Kovalev must really be. But now it was a competitive fight. Campbell Loma was a real classy fight. Luke showed he's a top contender. Yep. He done great work against Lomachenko in there. Obviously, he didn't win, but the scorecards were way too wide. Ridiculously wide. Campbell Garcia is such a similar matchup to Dubois Joyce. It is actually, when you think, that's actually a good shout, Will. It is a good point. A hot young prospect who boxed no one, and a much older experienced operator who boxed at a very much higher level with Olympic experience. Yes. There are some differences, but I see where you're coming from. I just don't think we're going to see the same result, though. You see, with Dubois Joyce, I went for Dubois originally. And then the more I watched Joyce, the more I thought, oh, shit, Dubois is not winning this fight. I've not felt like that about this fight. I've never had that feeling of I backed the wrong horse. It's always been Garcia. With regards to Dubois Joyce, ever since I made that prediction video, I was like, oh, I'm after backing the wrong horse. Campbell gave Loma too much respect. Yeah, he did. He definitely gave it a lot of respect. A lot of respect there. I think that was one thing Teofimo done well, is that he just went in there and was just like, nope, I ain't giving you no respect. I'm going straight in. I'm going to work on you. I definitely think that made a big, big difference. Sick of all the excuses with the alleged best of the best. Man, I want to see the best fight the best. See, Will there's got it. He's got it right. Divisions in boxing: 115, 130, 135, 140, 147, 160, and 175. All the best. Yeah, I can't argue with you on that, bro. 115 for me, best, bar none. 130, definitely second best. 135. I would put 140 ahead of 135. Just in my opinion, I'd put 140 ahead. 147 is always good. 160 has some good fighters as well, definitely. And 175. Yeah, 175 is full of sharks. Does anyone hear that Beterbiev, another setback, that his fight is off at the end of August or January? What month am I talking about? January. His fight is off. Forgot to tell people about that. Now, to be fair, I wasn't looking forward to it. He was fighting a mandatory, but it wasn't a particularly good mandatory. And it was the same night as Kovalev's fight. And we were all watching Kovalev's fight. Let's not make any mistake. I like Arda Beterbiev, but that Kovalev fight is interesting. Has anyone actually seen that the Zone are not too pleased with Kovalev? Because apparently he streamed some footage of the Canelo fight, and the Zone are apparently not best pleased. Joe has Garcia in 4 rounds this week's picks. I went 5 rounds, Joe. I picked him in 5. We'll see how we get going. Lads, what time is it there? It is currently literally just gone 11 o'clock, right? So we are going into minutes until the new year. Right, we are almost into minutes till the new year. 43 in the chat, 32 likes. If you could, lads, smash the like button. Helps out your boy. Did actually say Garcia, but wasn't read out correctly. It's chuffing hard ask. Man, sometimes I read these out really, really, really quickly. Sometimes I read too good for my own self, man. Or sorry. So used to saying it. Sometimes I read too quick for my own good. Eddie needs to pay judges to favour Campbell, because you know at least one of them is favouring Garcia. Yeah, I am. I definitely I'm seeing a Ryan Garcia. I tell you, if we go to points, we're seeing a really weird Ryan Garcia scorecard. Like, imagine this is say a 6. Like, say Ryan Garcia does win it legitimately, and say he wins it in all of our opinions 6-4 or not 8-4. There'll probably be a 10-2 scorecard in there. Wait and you see. Got to go with you. Yeah, if he's going 4, I'm going to 5. I'm going to 5. 5 rounds. Happy New Year when it comes, lads. G-Man Boxing. Lag may your leakrum or your lumrum. Lumbrek. Oh, man, I don't know what that means, bro. You have to enlighten me what that means. I'm probably reading it wrong. Just the other day, oh my God. Someone called Lennox Lewis a UK hype job. Oh, man. Oh, man. You see, Lennox Lewis was anything but a UK hype job. Lennox Lewis was the last undisputed champion. Lennox Lewis was legit, man. How could anyone say that about? Oh, Jesus. You fully believe? Oh, I thought you said it was getting pushed back. I read that too quick. There we go. You see, reading too quick. I actually thought you said that was getting pushed back to December. I was like, what? I fully believe Estrada versus Gonzalez hit the decision, but I got Estrada. Yeah, I got Estrada as well. I thought you were saying that's getting pushed back to December because it was like DCA. It was like, what? A year? No, thank God. The way Lomachenko struggled and the excuses, it's got to be T.O. A real shame. It was so annoying when you see that come out. It really was. It really was. It was horrible when you started seeing that. It was just like, come on, man. It was a close fight as well. 12th round, I gave Lopez. He did win that round. The round because he did more, but I actually thought Lomachenko landed the harder licks. Yeah, Lomachenko was coming to it late on in the fight, but it was too little too late, man. It was definitely too little too late. For years and years, Frank Warren just wasn't able to get the big fights. No, he wasn't able to get Joe Calzaghe the big fights. He got the fights against Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins late in his career, very late in his career. But I think that late on in Joe Calzaghe's career, although he wasn't in his physical peak, I think mentally that was the best you will ever see Joe Calzaghe. I think mentally he was just set. Calzaghe could be one of my favorite fighters of all time. He's right up there, man. Canelo versus Calzaghe, prime for prime at 168. I'd give it to Calzaghe on points. I think he'd take Canelo on points. IG, man. Big up to D. Happy New Year. If you're going, Happy New Year to you, bro. If you're in a stream tomorrow, I'll gladly join in. A big up to D. Speak Your Mind Sports. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. I just didn't see anything from Lopez. You see, I watched Lopez and I thought he's a good shout, but I just thought it's coming too soon for him to beat Lomachenko. I was completely wrong. He can definitely outwork him and keep defensive, but you don't think he's KOing? I think he has the power. I think he can KO Lomachenko. If Lomachenko opens up, he's getting countered. You fancy Loma? Really fancies Loma in the rematch? You still think Loma is the best lightweight in the world? You pick him at anybody at 130. That includes Teofimo. I will definitely be. I don't. Anything can happen. Lomachenko was so talented, but I just don't see him beating Teofimo. Mate, I can't see it. I don't know why. I just can't see it. The only guy I saw give was Bernard Hopkins. Exactly. That's why I think Andre Ward would beat him. I think Andre Ward is he's a more athletic, better Bernard Hopkins. So therefore, I think he'd be able to go in there and give some problems to Joe Calzaghe, probably taking on points. The prime Roy Jones, the best pound-for-pound fighter of my lifetime, and certainly the best 168-pounder of all time. Calzaghe was good, but a peak Jones stands. Oh man, a peak Roy Jones, definitely. A peak Roy Jones was at 168, and Jesus, man, it was just watching him fight was just man. Watching him fight was crazy. Just watching back some of those old highlights, like I watched a few of them back during the lockdown, and just watch those fights. You're just thinking, it's not possible. It's just the athleticism, just the speed, the combat. It's just like, man, it's not possible. We won't see a fighter like that come across anytime soon. Especially now that there's not as many amateur gyms and amateur game is really going down the swan. It's really hard. It's really not nice. You know, it could be a while before we see anyone even close to that again. If Yard was undefeated, I think he would have gotten the nod versus Arturs. Yeah, Anthony Yard, if he was undefeated, although he nearly would have got the nod again. He nearly did get the nod against Lyndon Arturs. But I think you're right. If he was undefeated, then definitely I think they would have been a bit more fair and forgiving to him for some of the rounds he took off and didn't really do anything. You can see Ward edging the fight out if the ref allows him to headbutt grapple. However, if it's a strict referee, you probably favor Joe. I still think Andre Ward could, even if the referee did allow Ward to, get away with some of the things he does, some of the little headbutts. I don't think Andre Ward's dirty. I think that sometimes he can be a bit reckless with his head, or he was when he was fighting. He could be a bit reckless with his head. But other than that, I thought Andre Ward was normally, quite good on top of things. Love 8H8. Love 8. First time catching you live, G-Man. Big up. Hope all as well. Have a great new year. Man, we're bringing the new year in. We're doing it all. And I'm going through this water. I'm going through this, man. We have another 50 or so minutes. We get there. And then we can say bye-bye, see you later. Fuck 2020, it's gone. Goodbye. Bye-bye. B-Hop is not far behind Roy. B-Hop's career is above Roy. Oh, yeah, like Bernard Hopkins, right? Bernard Hopkins didn't have the athleticism of Roy. But what he lacked in athleticism, he made up for in technique. He just lived so... Like, Bernard Hopkins at 50 looked better than most people in their early 30s. He's got that real swimmer's physique, and what I mean by that is you can tell that his body is just natural the way it is. There's nothing really been pumped into him. He's just got that natural swimmer's look to his physique. So Hopkins was able to compete at a high level. Although saying that, realistically, when he fought Kovalev, his day was done. Really, probably when he fought Pascal, really, he should have been looking at getting out of there by then. But he kept going and he ended up fighting Joe Smith. Kovalev streamed the whole fight. Kovalev just doesn't really give a shit. He really doesn't. Can't pick against Loma in the rematch. His right hook is there. Loma's best punch is the right hook, and it was non-existent. The right shoulder's been the one that's been injured, hasn't it? It's always been the right shoulder that's bothered Loma. Lads, give me 2 secs. I've got a fire on, and it is fucking hot in here. All right, we're back at that. As always in these streams, I have a fire on, and it gets too goddamn. Bivol or Beterbiev? Right now, Beterbiev, but give it a year. Beterbiev's 36. Right, actually, wait there a sec, right? I'm going to go onto BoxRec, and we're going to actually go and have a look at Artur Beterbiev, because I'm convinced. When's the last time he fought? He definitely fought last year at some point. Definitely. But I just want to see when the last time he fought was. Give me a sec there, lads. Lads, tell me this isn't happening. Lads, looks like no, tell me this isn't fucking happening. Right, lads, bad news for you. Looks like we're having a few technical issues here. Looks like we may be having a few little technical issues here on our end. But just give me a sec. I'll try and iron these out. Laptop is old and fucking shit. And oh, there we go. There we go. Right, we got that sorted. Apologies about that. But yeah, Beterbiev was meant to fight the end of. No, he's 36 in the end of January. He's meant to fight the end of January. He fought Vodcek. Jesus, was that it? So he fought Vodcek last October. And before that, he fought a guy whose name I'm not even going to try and pronounce in May. He fought Callum Johnson in October 2018. And then he fought, wow, he's really been it. So since 2016, since December 2016, he's fought 5 times. Wow. And he's no fight scheduled. Wow, and he's 36 now in the next month. I hope Beterbiev is still. You see, that's the thing I worry about. How long are we going to have him knocking around at the top? Age, inactivity. I hope we're still good. Phil Garcia with KO Campbell before. When I saw the faces today, I believe Campbell has more size advantage and a huge speed disadvantage. Luke is definitely will be the bigger two. No, that I have no doubt about. Luke will be the bigger two. Good for own self. That sounds good too. I have a feeling Ryan is going to win. Yeah, I picked 5 rounds too. I picked exactly the same. I gone with 5 rounds as well. Talking to Joe, Gruston with McGuigan, perspective was Ali. Ali, legend. What a legend. That's the reason I started to box, learn various MMA. Jones Jr. is probably the best of the best. Never trust the judge. Roy Jones Jr., in my opinion, man, Roy Jones, what a fighter. What a fighter. In his prime. Yeah, I would have rather he just kept quiet. You know, if he really wants to start talking, do it in the ring. That's my way of looking at it. I wonder what the odds are actually in some of these fights for tomorrow. I haven't even looked at the betting odds. Let's have a look. Calzaghe wins over the undefeated Kessler is excellent. Calzaghe's win over Kessler was brilliant. And you know what? Joe Calzaghe beat a prime Mikhail Kessler way more convincingly than Carl Froch beat an over-the-hill Mikhail Kessler, because Kessler retired after that fight. The way he just adjusted to Calzaghe, yeah, Calzaghe could adjust. And like I said, Carl Froch beat Kessler, but that wasn't over the now. It's not a question of who wins. It's a question of whether Joe Calzaghe stops Carl Froch or not. I don't think anyone can take anything away from Calzaghe. People keep telling me he's a dick. He doesn't come across as a dick. Not to me, anyway. He comes across as pretty likable. You know, he seems to be pretty likable. People talk about how Beterbiev hasn't fought in ages and he's had so many fights pushed back. But you know what? You're right. I did forget about that. That Bivol hasn't fought since last year. Man, he's not fought at all since last year. Give me 1 second. I'm just sending a quick text. Yeah, he's not fought at all since last year. Dimitri Bivol. And he got the win. The Joe Smith win looks a hell of a lot better now than it did a few months ago, I have to say. But Will's right here. Oh, he's right here. I don't support Loma's excuses, but we have to agree with him when he said there was something wrong with the judges. That 119-109 scorecard was ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. Criminal. Man, that was crazy. 119, 109 was BS. Absolute BS scorecard. 119, 109. There's no way. Like, Lomachenko won way more rounds than that. I mean, he won way more rounds than that. Lads, I'm real sorry about this, but I'm going to have to give me 2 seconds. I just want to grab something real quick. All right, I'm not used to doing really, really long live streams. So Calzaghe, fast feet and fast hands for Andre Ward. He would play with Ward. I don't know if he'd play with Ward necessarily. I still think that's a tough fight for Andre Ward, definitely. That's 100%. That's a tough fight for Andre Ward. Very tough fight for Andre Ward. So I don't know if I'd necessarily... I don't know if I'd necessarily say that. Look, I'd be picking Andre Ward personally. Personally, I'd be picking Andre Ward in that fight. If I had to, I'd be picking Andre Ward in that fight. But we'll never know, unfortunately. We'll never know. I'm going to scroll down and catch a few more. I've been missing a few of these. Yeah, speak up to Tony. Going to the new year with style. What's up, brother? Big up, bro, every single time. Every time, man. We are... What time are we? We're like nearly 20 past, so we're not far. Oh, look who's here. Yo, what's up, bro?
Yeah, it's popping. It's starting.
Ioka's popping.
Yeah, the kazoo king.
Kazoo king. Well,
That's
you were
really
right. You were right. The UND, 100%. What's up with you? Where are you at?
I'm drunk. I've been having a bit of a good one. Yeah. I've only got a few minutes to kill though, and then ring in the new year and all that,
Ring in the new year. You and the missus. You and the missus ringing in the new year in style, bro. Nah, man. It was a hell of a fight. I thought Tanaka would win, but is what it is. Is what it is. I was glad to see it, man. I was glad to see it. It's a hell of a left hook. I didn't see a stoppage coming from either guy.
Yeah. I'll be honest, not trying to gloat or nothing, but there's actual proof of this, right? I knew Kazuto was going to win. I even made a video saying he was going to win. Mark my words. I literally have a video up on my channel saying he is going to win. No way. There's no way he's going to lose. He's too good for him, man. And I'll be honest, if you take a look, watch that fight in slow motion, yeah? He absolutely beat the crap out of him. Watch it in slow motion. He actually brutalized this kid. It wasn't close. Watch it in slow-mo.
No, head and body, he was doing a job on the kid. I'll give him that.
The kid wasn't landing much. He wasn't landing much. It looked like it in real time because of how fast his hands are.
Watching he's got quick hands.
Yeah, but watching in slow-mo and you'll be like, what the fuck is going on?
No, I seen Ioka was blocking a lot of the shots. He was parrying a lot of the shots, and he was coming back and he was hitting him with hooks to the head and to the body. The combos were good from Ioka. Man, Ioka was... I watched more. See, probably because I watched more Tanaka than I did Ioka, but man, he was a beast. He was a beast in there. I couldn't see a stoppage though. I thought both guys had good chins. Now, that was a hell of a cracking shot that put Tanaka out, but I just thought both guys would be a little bit too tough. I was surprised.
Well, you see, that had nothing to do with power and nothing to do with chins either. Do you know what that was?
Timing.
Pure timing. Pure timing. Like, you know what that's like. You've sparred yourself. You take a well-timed shot. It doesn't even need that much on it. It's gonna wreck you. And when you take one to the temple, it's gonna wreck you more.
That was a wrecking shot, man. I just couldn't wonder. I just didn't see it coming. I just didn't see. I just see this quick as hell left hook land, and Ioka or Tanaka's feet. He was gonzo, man. That referee knew himself. That shot was a stinker. That referee knew himself.
He heard it, and I heard it too. When you take one on the side of the head and it doesn't make a clap and it makes a thud, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. If it thuds on the head, because the head's what makes the noise, not the hand, not the glove. It's the head. So if it slaps on the head, it means that it was a sting, right? But if it thuds on the head, it means it's echoing inside.
That referee knew what it was. What a fight. But that's how we end 2020 with fights. We got a good 2021 coming for fights, man. We got Kovalev coming up. Man, I'm looking forward to this Campbell Garcia fight, bro. I picked him in round 5. Garcia.
You did?
5 rounds, yeah. I changed. Like, I took your advice. I didn't go for the late stoppage. I took the early stoppage.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to stop him late. If he's going to stop him, it'll be early to mid. Because his stamina, Luke will come in stronger in the fight as it goes on. He's the fitter guy. He's been there many times, more experienced with it, more composed. So he'll come on better in the latter half. And Garcia is going to be very wild in the mid rounds. He's not going to have the energy late on, even if he says he's been training for 12 rounds. It's different training for 12 rounds and actually doing it, right? I think it's going to go to full 12, and I think Ryan's going to get controversial points win.
That's what loads of people are saying. Loads of people think he's going to get a controversial points win. I can see him winning this either way, like legit, or stopping Campbell. The only thing I can't really see is Campbell stopping Garcia.
You can't see that?
I can't. I'm trying to picture it. Like, I know Garcia's chin's never been tested. I know he swings with like his eyes closed, he got his chin up in the air and all that. But I don't know. I just can't see. I don't think Campbell has that. He's a decent puncher. I don't think I just can't see it.
He doesn't have to be a big puncher. He doesn't need to be. I'll give you an example. Koshi Tanaka has a very good chin. Kazuto Ioka is not a big puncher. Never has been a big puncher. Kazuto Ioka knocked him out. Why? Timing. Because he was being wild and he walked him into shots. Same thing can happen with Garcia. He's wild, and Luke has something that, not to the same extent, but he does have something. It's called timing.
Timing and experience. He's got experience at this level. This is a big.
I can see him. I can see him sparking Queen Roy to Kingdom Come.
What's the odds on it? I think Sky was saying Campbell's betting favourite. What's the odds on this fight, or have you done any bets on it?
Sky were saying Campbell's the bet. They said no, he ain't the betting favourite. He ain't no betting favourite. That's bollocks. I'll tell you right now. The betting favourite for this fight, right, is Ryan Garcia. He's 3-10 on. Luke is an 11-4 underdog. If you want Luke by knockout, you can get Luke at 8.5 to 1.
8.5 to 1 by knockout. I wouldn't put that down. I ain't putting that.
17-2.
That's just. I don't know why. I just can't see that. I just cannot see Luke getting the knockout. That's the one thing. That's the one outcome for this fight. For whatever it is, I just don't see it. Like, I know what you're saying about timing, but I would sooner put him down for a point win than I would for a stoppage. But have you got any money down on this fight?
No, I haven't touched it.
No,
I'm not stupid. I think both guys can beat each other, and I think they can beat each other in every way possible. Luke is a very good fighter, but he's not the top fighter. You know what I mean? He's got his flaws. I know what they are. Ryan, I haven't got a clue. Is he good? Is he fast-handed? Is he a few rounds? Is his power actually good against a legit 135 guy? I mean, it looks good against Fonseca, but he's a fucking 26-pounder who went to 130 and went to 145. Is it good against guys like Romero Dudo, who was on the canvas 5 times before against a dude who was 11-5? And that same dude had 3 knockouts? Maybe he's got power. Hey, maybe when he was in there with Morales and he went the distance and it was a majority decision, and that same Morales then fought against Linares over a year later, and he got sparked in 4 rounds. Maybe his power isn't that high. And I'm not one for triangle theories, but Luke was in there with Linares and went the distance.
Gave him a lot of bother as well.
And I don't know if Roy is at that Linares level, but I know Luke is. I'm talking a prime Linares. You still in this prime?
He was. I don't know. It's gonna be a good. We're gonna get to. It's gonna be on our time, so we're good in that sense. But like I said, man, we got this fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm dying to see it. We'll either see Ryan Garcia's coming out party, or we'll even see potentially him. Yeah, potentially see Oscar De La Hoya cry, because that's Canelo gone, and then his only other hope would have got beaten. So either way, I think it's gonna be good. Good.
Either or, it's all groovy, man. It's all class. It's gravy. Look, either way, it's gonna be fun. Look, at the end of the day, you're either gonna see a prospect he rolled or proven, one or the other, and that's always fun.
Yeah, it is. You gotta love that. See a prospect he rolled or
I
proven.
just see Verdejo get sparkled.
Yeah, and I was going back and forth. I picked them, but I wasn't confident about that at all. Nakatana, we were all saying about that same thing.
I bet money on that. I thought people could put money on that.
I just couldn't see them giving him this. I thought it would be. I didn't see a stoppage. I thought it'd be a points decision. I just couldn't see them giving Nakatana the decision.
Nakatani hits hard. Ask Teofimo, who's snapping his neck back. Verdejo got sparkled by Lozano. The same dude who got sparkled by Fortuna. It's not about all that stuff. It's just he wasn't able to get him out of there. You know what I mean? And then he got sparked. And he's not a big puncher. And we know Fortuna has a sussy chin.
Verdejo, man, he's finished. I think he's donezo.
Dunzo's boys. Yo, thanks for having me on, mate. I'm gonna get rocking, alright? It's a 11:30. We're ringing the new year.
You
Thanks
get
for that.
rocking, ring in the new year, man. Have a good one.
You too, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Happy New Year's to all of you. Hope you all stay blessed and you ring in the new year, whatever way you're doing it. Always remember, it can't be much worse than this year.
No.
Peace.
Man, big up to Mark every time. Right, lads. We're solo until midnight. So we got Big Dan back. I'm back. Lads, it's not easy. I don't know how they do it. Don't know how some people do these 2-hour live streams. I normally do an hour and I'm good to go. And I'm fucking beat tired talking for the last hour and a half. Campbell wins on points, but could see a robbery. Man, that's what loads and loads and loads of people are saying. Yeah, sorry. That's what loads of people are saying. Loads of people are saying that controversial decision. At the end of the day, we see this fight on Saturday night, and I'm going to be enjoying it. I can't wait to see it. Big up to Unrivaled every single time. Big up to Unrivaled. Half an hour, and then we are out of this godforsaken year. You know? Get out of 2020. Why is everyone shit on 2020? Why does everyone shit on 2020? Throw Network. Because 2020 done the exact same to them. I don't think there's anyone I know who had a good year this year. Just thinking off the top of my head, I don't think I know anyone out of my own circle who had a good year this year. I know some people who got talk about absolutely you know what with 2020. Like, I didn't have that bad a year in hindsight, but it was shit nonetheless. But yeah, fuck 2020. Big up to Tony's back. Me and the old lady going to the casino to watch the ball drop. Man, going to the casino. Troll Network had a great year. Yeah, Troll Network spent the year trolling. He trolled the shit out of Hat, man. That was funny. Like seeing those live streams, that was quite a laugh. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Because nobody trusts judgment anymore. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Sarah, I'm with you on that. No one trusts anyone anymore. What, that Radejo doesn't seem to know how not to be a winning guy in a fight he falls about. Yeah, remember Radejo was mandatory for Terry Flanagan at one point. And I think he took that interim fight before the Terry. I think he could have just gone straight into that Terry Flanagan fight before he took that L. I think he took that L, and then he's been. Remember, he was meant to fight. Remember when Teofimo was saying that the money wasn't right for the Lomachenko fight, and he was coming out saying basically he wasn't going to take it until they gave him, I think, a revised offer. Radejo was the option. We could have had Radejo. Imagine that, Radejo versus Loma. Imagine that fight, because it's been real bad. Man, 2020 has been it has been it's been shit. It will be very hard to get worse than this. Seriously, it would be so hard to get worse than this. Unrivaled does a great job. Man, Unrivaled is the G. Him, Ring IQ, Beats, a lot of those guys are fantastic. Hatman, Ade, man, they're all great. 2020 has hurt a lot of people, whether directly or by proxy. You know what the worst thing is? I know people, and this is the worst thing. This just goes to show how, and I mean it, right, how somewhat naive people can be. I've known people who've lost a home and lost jobs because of stuff going on in 2020, and they're still pro-lockdown. Now, let that sink in. Lost jobs, had to give up their home and move back with their parents, and they're still pro-lockdown. I mean, I can't justify that. I mean, just think, and to think, you say to them, well, if none of this happened in 2020, you'd have all this. And it's like, yeah, but it's like, mate, come on now. I mean, I didn't lose that much, but Jesus, I can't believe that. Just a half hour from 2021, a year that will make us. No, we're going into this year positive. Fuck you. We're going into this year positive. No way. We're going into this year positive. You believe Campbell sleeps Ryan on the inside? Yeah, Campbell on the inside should be a bit better than Ryan. Ryan keeps, like I said, he keeps chin up and his eyes closed. His experience would be a big factor. Just your opinion. We're going to have a lot to talk about on Sunday after this fight's done. Logic tells us Campbell was much more experienced and accomplished amateur. As a pro, he's proven. Whether Garcia has been blowing over everyone he's meant to be, same thing with Dubois Joyce. Yeah, it's very similar to Dubois Joyce, isn't it? It is very similar to Dubois Joyce. It is very, very, very similar to Dubois Joyce. But I know it sounds weird, but I had that feeling the whole way through Dubois Joyce that I was picking the wrong guy, but I don't have that feeling with this fight. It's weird. Lucas learned lessons from the first Mendy fight in 2015. That was something about Luke that was not a big issue, but it was an issue when he turned pro, wasn't it? He had a very amateurish style. He really was struggling to adjust from the amateurs to the pros. He's really come into his own. He's got the pro experience. 2020, worst year ever. Right up there, man. Certainly the worst year since I've been alive. 27 years on this earth. It's been the worst year for me. To be fair, I had a good year. Spent a lot of time at home. The only thing that the Rona affected for you was boxing. It affected me seeing my mates for a bit. It affected boxing. What else did it affect? Didn't really affect the job. Thankfully. But yeah, it was what it was. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I don't see the first half of 2020 being any better. Hope I'm wrong. No, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it will be better. I think January. I don't want to sound negative, lads, but I think January's probably going to be a write-off. I think, but if you think about it like this, right? January, February 2020 were reasonably normal, right? It was only March when shit started going south. So if it's something similar then that's not the end of the world. But maybe January and possibly February are write-offs. But fingers crossed, we'll have a good rest of the year. And Sarah has it right here. Positive now, please. Everyone, just don't say out loud. That's it. No, we keeping it good. We keep it good. We only have 25 minutes left of this hell-ish year. Absolute sickener of a year. And then we're good to go. We can move on. So I was saying Campbell wins on points, but could see a robbery. That's the majority of things. That's what the majority of people are saying, that they see it being a robbery. They see it like it's going to be real interesting. If we have a close fight, it's going to be real interesting to see what these scorecards are saying. So if we have a close competitive fight, it's going to be interesting to see what some of these guys get on the scorecards. So like the one thing I don't want, right? I hope we don't see something like, it's, a close competitive fight, this, that, and the other, and then we get like a 119, 109 scorecard or some BS like that. That's just what we don't want. Because then we'll be like, right, it's another year for boxing, BS scorecards. Main thing that worries me is he hangs his chin in the air. Yeah, he does. And that is not good. If you have someone in there who has good timing, then, man, as Mark said, the timing is the key. Timing is the key. And like we saw with Ioka, that timing is going to be key. You always hate January anyway, tend to suffer the winter blues, January, February. January always seems to... Yeah, do you know what, man? I 100% with you. I actually agree with you. On that. I absolutely hate January myself. Like, January 2020 wasn't great. The year before was not great. January is just a really crappy month, isn't it? It's just a really crappy month. It's a really crappy month. I don't know why. But yeah, January's always been... I agree with you on that. January's a really crappy month. Campbell has far better fundamentals than Garcia, better technique and boxing from range. He knows how to use the jab, counter punch. We see in the Linares fight. Thought he won it. Linares fight was close, man. I thought Linares did do enough to nick it, but Jesus, I remember the consensus was... what was it, that like Garcia was, or Campbell was going to absolutely get destroyed by Garcia or Linares. That was because Linares was going on to Matchroom and he was beating the crap out of most Matchroom guys. Literally. Just out of interest, has anyone here had the you-know-what vaccine yet? No, and I won't be getting it. Thanks, but no thanks. You can keep that. Thank you. No thanks. Won't be going nowhere near me. Won't be going anywhere near me, man. And yes, thanks for the positivity. We like that. Also, Garcia looks fast when hitting the body belt, but in the ring, they have the same speed. Campbell has better footwork. Yeah, look, Campbell definitely has the better fundamentals. He definitely does. Oh, shit. He definitely does. I nearly dropped my phone there. He definitely has the better fundamentals. It's going to be interesting. I don't know why. I just feel as though... I don't know, man. I just feel as though Campbell's going to do it. Garcia is going to do it. I just feel as though Garcia is going to do it. I don't know why. What we got here? Dylan White versus AJ 2021. Do you know what, right? Do you know what? I can't... No. I was going to say maybe, but no. I wouldn't see Dylan White taking that fight. I'll tell you why. If they couldn't get the Fury Joshua fight made in 2021, right? If he does end up vacating the WBO, that's a handy little fight to put that on pay-per-view, right? The only issue is, right, with two things with Dylan White. He's turned down the AJ fight before. He has. He's turned down the AJ fight before, but even more so now, coming off the back of that knockout loss to Povetkin, I worry for Dylan White going in there with punchers, big punchers. Now, I know that's easy. Like, you could say most of the heavyweight division are big punchers. But I would worry for Dylan White because I reckon following that knockout, as you'll see by the thumbnail, they will really be fancying their chances because they will be seeing a hurt man in front of them, basically. So I honestly can't see Dylan White taking that fight. But Eddie Hearn would love to put that fight on because it's a big payday for him because it would do good numbers, that rematch. You know, Dylan White is still well known in the UK, and yeah, you know, I reckon they could be all right with that. I reckon they could be all right with that. Chris Eubank. Oh my God. What's the crack with Chris Eubank? I've literally heard nothing from him these days. Literally. I have heard nothing from Eubank Jr. He seems to, yeah. I'm going to make an assessment here, but could be wrong. But I reckon Eubank is in a bit of conflict. Well, maybe not conflict, but I reckon he's not happy with a situation with Al Heyman. Do you know why? Because it seems like every now and again he's calling for Billy Joe and Canelo, right? And then give it like say 2 months, he's coming back out and he's saying he wants what's the guy's name? Charlo. It seems like Al Heyman wants to put him in there with Charlo, and maybe he's looking at other directions. Maybe he's thinking to himself, I want me some of Canelo, or I want that Billy Joe rematch. Because I always find that weird. I find that weird that like he call it like 1 minute it's Charlo, and then when Charlo has a fight coming up, oh, he's not saying anything, and then all of a sudden it's I want Billy Joe. Yeah, Eubank was training with Roy Jones for the Mike Tyson fight. Well, Eubank is training with him now. He's training with him, with Roy Jones. I still don't think that's a good fit. You know, some of them might say it is, but I just don't think Roy. Because I remember I done a video during lockdown actually, and people were like, Roy Jones was one of the pound for pound best of all time. Yeah, but he was athletic. You know, he made up for a lot of his flaws with his athleticism. I don't see that rubbing off on Eubank Jr. You know, I think Eubank Jr. needs someone who's going to teach him the fundamentals as opposed to teaching him about, you know, just how to throw 100 punches around, you know, 100 left hooks in 10 seconds, you know. What do I think of Fundora, 6'6"? Oh, man, holy mother. I don't know how he does it. He looks so, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but he looks just a bit, it's just, seeing a man 6'7", weigh 154 pounds, it's just bizarre. You know, it's just bizarre, man. Seriously, it's just weird. But if he can be effective too. But it's just bizarre. So he's 6'7" and he's weighing 154. He's not literally weighing 154 pounds, but he's weighing close to it. It's just bizarre. Now I did in the end of March still think back to normal, but gotta be positive now. Sarah, we are going to be positive. That's what we're going to do. Nothing but good things in 2021. That's what I'm sticking with. Sticking with it. Didn't see Anthony Yarde say he was going to announce a decision on whether he was staying with Thunder or not before the end of the year. Someone actually left a comment in the chat last night saying that they seen an Instagram post for, what was the guy's name? Tunde Ajayi, saying he was focusing more on his son now. Make it out what you will. It's going to be interesting to see what Yarde does. All right, I think you should leave Tunde. All right, I got nothing against Tunde. I ain't got nothing against them, but I definitely think that if he wants to go to the next level, I think he needs someone like Adam Boot or someone like that. That's what I'm thinking. Garcia will probably be more physical, imposing, as Campbell doesn't seem to stamp his authority and go up the gear. Yeah, he really tends to just kind of fight at one kind of. He doesn't tend to go through the gears a lot. I'll give you that. Look, this fight's going to be very, very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. That's what I will say. You think AJ? Yeah. Do you know what? I would never really have picked AJ to win. I'd never have picked AJ. I'd never have picked Dylan White to win the rematch even before the Povetkin fight. But I definitely thought we could see it going long. Definitely. But now, I mean, Jesus, I don't see it. I don't see that fight going long. I can't see it. Can't see it. Now what's they saying? He won't leave Tunde. I don't know. I don't know. Part of me thinks he will. Part of me thinks he will. Eubank has wasted his career. Turning down GGG was what was that? Graduate mistake. Even if he'd lost, a good performance would have raised his stock. You see, that's something I've never understood with fighters. Like, I mean, none of us would have picked him over Triple G. Well, I know I wouldn't have, right? But let's just say he'd come in there against Triple G. And now bear this in mind, lads, right? That would have been 2016. Eubank probably still would have, I reckon Eubank would have froze. I probably would have froze against Triple G. But let's say he didn't. And let's say he gave a good account of himself. Maybe went the distance and, made Triple G look human. Because at the time, Triple G was just steamrolling people. Eubank's stock would have risen. You can lose and still have your stock raised if you do a good performance. Like, let's say, put it like this, right? Let's say Teofimo Lopez, right, had lost to Lomachenko. Let's say Lomachenko switched it on a bit earlier, nicked a couple of the early rounds, and he won it 5-7, right? It would have been a loss for Teofimo, right? But Teofimo's stock would have still shot through the roof. Why? Because he made a very good account of himself against Triple G. So for me, I never understand that when fighters are always like, I don't want to take these fights because some of them just don't want to lose. It's like you could lose a fight, but still end up with your stock raised, So I never understand that when fighters do that. Maybe from a managers are advising them and saying, look, you don't need this. There's easier ways. There's quicker ways, or there's easier ways. Like, maybe that, but I don't know. White's chin was severely dented by AJ. The first fight, the Vetkin fight, might have finished it. Yeah, because think of it like this, right? I've nearly cleared that whole thing of water actually during these 2 hours. Think of it like this, right? Dylan White took those shots from AJ. No problem, no questions asked, right? I'm sure he felt them. But after that, buzzed against, who was he buzzed with? He's buzzed by Hellenius. He was down against Rivas. He wasn't, there's a firework going off out there. He was kind of rocked a little bit against Chisora, but nothing major. Who else was he hurt by? He was hurt by someone else as well, but he was down against Parker. So his chin was never fully there after the Anthony Joshua fight. Now, he wasn't chinny or anything like that, but definitely shots that wouldn't have hurt him before, they started hurting Dylan White. Definitely. Whereas now, that knockout loss, boy. Boy. Yeah, he was no go. I mean, that chin is gonna, someone like a Deontay Wilder, they shouldn't be putting Dylan White anywhere near him. Campbell stock rose when he lost 8-9 rounds versus Loma. Yeah, like, I mean, he made Lomachenko, although he lost the fight, although the scorecards were way too wide, he still made Lomachenko look human. Oh, look what Show Network's asking. Do I think I could beat Marcellus Wilder? Oh, man, that boy. I know I say boy, he's older than me, but man, he's a child. He is a little child, that lad. I mean, he's going around punching guys in the back of the head, trying to start bare knuckle rows at people. Man, he's a little child, that lad. And that knockout he got knocked out by against, because remember, you cannot find footage of that William Dietz fight. Can't find footage of that. But that other fight where he got knocked out, I mean, Jesus, the journeyman threw one shot. It wasn't even that good, and he went flat. White needs to sort out his defense so substantially to uppercuts, or so susceptible to uppercuts. Been down 3 or 4 times in his career. 3 or 4 of them were by uppercuts. Yeah, it was an uppercut against Parker as well, wasn't it? Or was it? No, it was a right hand. It wasn't against Parker. It was an uppercut against Rivas. It was an uppercut against AJ. It was an uppercut against Joshua. So yeah, the uppercut seemed to be a problem for Dylan White. Definitely. 100%. Seemed to be an issue for Dylan White, definitely. Sometimes your stock rises like that. You end up being a fighter that falls in the who needs him category, especially if you've nothing to offer. Michael Hunter is in that category now, unfortunately. He is. He's in that who needs him category. Michael Hunter, very good fighter, very promising heavyweight, but he's in that category of who needs you? Who needs Michael Hunter? There's a few fighters knocking around like that. I hate seeing that. Hate seeing fighters in that who needs you category, because you see fighters like Michael Hunter, they're trying to take any opportunity they can get. You know, they really are. They're trying to take any opportunity. Look at fireworks going out in Dublin now. Jesus. Fireworks going off in Dublin. Yes, 10 minutes left. 10 minutes. Oh boy. Yeah. Al Heyman erased that William Dietz loss. He erased it from history. But after he got knocked out the second time, man, there was no erasing that. Harley Quinn is so cringy, bum sniffs AJ all the time. I don't like that. It's just so annoying. And he does that to all his mates as well. It's just so flipping annoying. Harley Quinn. Mr. J. Nobody knows what's happening this year. Wishing you all the best. Love, peace. We'll call back in. Peace. Peace to Sarah. Big up to Sarah every time. Big up to Sarah every single time. Hunter beats everyone except AJ Fury, Usyk, and Ruiz, in your opinion. Apparently, he was giving Ruiz the business in sparring in the lead up to that AJ fight. Do you remember that? Remember they were sparring and we saw that it definitely photoshopped. Had to have been Photoshop picture of Andy Ruiz looking real slim. Well, not slim, but by his standards, he was slim. That was clearly photoshopped. But apparently he was giving Andy Ruiz the business in sparring. Yard needs to realize when he isn't doing enough in fights. He also needs a coach to tell him that. Tunde just seems to tell him he's. I get the impression with Tunde, right, that he's trying to keep Anthony Yard upbeat about certain things. So, like, he's obviously trying to keep him upbeat about, you know, oh, you're winning these fights easy, or you're winning it comfortably. He's obviously trying to keep him upbeat, but he's also not being realistic. He's not giving him any, like, real sound advice. He's just saying, you know, lions in the camp, you're doing this, you're taking this, you're winning this. And Yard's just going along with that. Now, that's fine. Look, that's fine from, you know, managerial point of view. You want a big, but you're a trainer. You should be seeing, look, what's happening in there. You should see that the fight is close. I can't justify that. I can't justify a trainer saying to a fighter, yeah, you're winning this fight comfortably when it's a close competitive fight. I really can't. I really can't justify it. I hope to God that because Anthony Yard, if he fights Lyndon Archers again, he should win. He has it's there for him to win, I think, that fight. He just needs to make sure that, you know, he has just the right mentality, basically. And, you know, he's getting the sound advice. Love to y'all. Big up to Sarah. Nothing but positive things in the new year. Nothing but positive things in the new year. Big up to Sarah every time. Hunter is a high risk, low reward. That's exactly what it is. He's high risk, low reward. Because if you beat Michael Hunter, you're beating a cruiserweight, basically. But if you lose, oh, what are you doing losing to him? You know, but he is a good fighter, Michael Hunter. Very good. And he apparently, it was a very controversial decision that Tyson Fury got over Michael Hunter in the amateurs. Hunter was a good fighter, man. He was, didn't he medal? No, he didn't medal, but didn't he get to the Olympics? I'm not 100% sure. I also believe Hunter don't have the best chin, badly hurt by Usyk, and people forgot he was held up by the ropes. Oh, yes, I remember that. You're right. A left hook against Povetkin put him to the ropes. I do remember that. No, I do remember that. Now, I remember that when he was fighting Povetkin. It was early. He was really opening up as well early on in that fight. And I remember the left hook from Povetkin tagging him in Saudi Arabia and him going kind of backing up against the ropes. I remember that. No, I do remember that. I remember that clearly. Much love to Sarah. Big up to Sarah every time, man. She's been brilliant in the chat this evening. Or tonight. Still tonight. It's still tonight, man. We done 2 hours, man. I'm surprised. Man, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired, lad. I'm not tired from, like, fatigue or anything like that. I'm fucking tired because I've been talking for the last 2 hours. I've been talking for the last 2 hours, man. I'm getting tired. It's not easy. I'm not used to like I love doing these live streams, but I ain't used to doing like 2 hour live streams. You're right. Hunter fought Beterbiev in the Olympics. Yes, because Hunter fought at 200 pounds in the Olympics as well. He fought Usyk as well. But man, I've been going through like that thing's nearly empty, man. I've been absolutely sucking the life out of it. It's a tiring one. It's been tiring. I'll stay on camera till the end. Fuck it. I'll stay on camera till the end. Would a prime Povetkin be Hunter in your opinion? Yes, but I think no, he would. No, he would. But it wouldn't be straightforward. It's not going to be like he's going to go in there and steamroll Michael Hunter. You know, it'd be a close competitive fight all the way through. But I think that Povetkin would have his legs underneath him a lot better. He would have a bit more movement there. I just think he'd just be a bit fresher. A prime Povetkin, realistically, a prime Povetkin was Povetkin 2013 to 2016 when that Meldonian was still legal, because that was when Povetkin got his best wins. He was doing his best work. He was looking the best. He was beating guys up easily, and he was having, really not easy most of the time, but pretty much easy fights. Fireworks going on outside. Oh man, as Troll Network says, just 5 more minutes. Less than that, man. Less than that now. What time is it there? 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So, man, it's been long. What we have here? Hunter versus Martin. Definitely Michael Hunter. 100% Michael Hunter. Charles Martin's improved, but he ain't improved that much. No version of any top heavyweight since Lewis would steamroll Michael Hunter. Now, I can't see any heavyweight steamroll today anyway, steamrolling Hunter. No way. Hunter is good. Hunter's skills are, he's fat. He's got good power. People's act as though like Hunter can't punch. He's not feather fisted. He got Povetkin's respect. Povetkin made the right decision not to take the Dana White rematch ASAP. I don't know. I think in some ways it would have been better for Povetkin to take that rematch ASAP. Because you're talking, I'm telling you now, right? Dana White would have been definitely concussed by that shot. Definitely would have been concussed by that shot. If Dana White was concussed by that shot, and to say the rematch had happened in November, there's no way that he would have been able to recover in enough time in order for him to be at his optimum. And he would have been getting hit in the head and sparring as well, which wouldn't have been good. So, now, definitely, in my opinion, I think that it would have been better if he actually took it earlier than you could leave it later. Because later you leave it, the more he's going to be deteriorating. He's going to be close to 42, man. By the time, yeah, he would be closer to 42 by the time this fight goes on. Last exit before 2021. Yeah, last exit before 2021. Man, we are... How many minutes? What time is it? What time are we at? Dublin is literally 90 seconds, lads. All right, 90 seconds in Dublin. You probably can't even see that. But 90 seconds left, lads. 90 seconds. He was on that Meldonian stuff, definitely. That was what Prime Povetkin was taking. He was enjoying himself. No, I can't say that. Usyk versus Povetkin undisputed? No. I'd be surprised if Povetkin's even still around by then, man. I'd be surprised if Povetkin ever fights again. Seriously. Be pleasantly surprised, but I wouldn't... I can't see Povetkin really fighting again, to be honest with you. Man, I wouldn't be shocked if he never fought again. Seriously. What's my New Year's resolution? Just to have more of a laugh, man. Just to stop overthinking things, overstressing things, and just shit I can't control. Just let it go. That's the New Year's resolution. Just be happy. Just be happy. Just be fucking happy. That's my New Year's resolution. Just stay happy. A lot of shit going on, but fuck it. It is what it is. Just be happy, man. That's my New Year's resolution, bro. That's it. None of this shit. I'll read that in a sec. I don't get into any of these things about, oh, it's going to be this. Nah, man. Just let it be. Let it be, whatever it is. It's all good, man. It's all good. Just let it be. Any same here, any moment. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Sarah. I think we're good. I think we're 2021. I think we're good, man. I think we're good. We're in 2021, so fuck 2020. We all G. We all G now. Yeah, we go. Welcome to 2021. There we go. Fireworks crazy. We are 2020 is a write-off. It's gone. Oh, thank God. Thank God. 2020 is done, lads. We are finished. We are finished with 2020. Amen to that. Happy New Year, boxing fans. Well done, man. We are good to go. We got over the hump. Definitely. Happy New Year. Yes. Happy New Year. We got over the 2-hour mark. Let's celebrate. Let's have a drink. Water, of course. Fireworks going off in Dublin, as you do. Absolutely. 2020. Fuck 2020. 2021. We made it. Better things. Much better. Let's do it. We got it. And we made it. We done the 2-hour live stream as well. Lads. We did it. We got out of this year. Happy New Year, everyone. Peace. That's it, lads. 2 hours. All right. Lads, I had good fun. He's got me over the mark. He's got me over the hump. Lads and lassies, big up to Sarah. I'm going to call it here. Lads, it's going to be a better year for all of us. I'm going to go camera for this. It's going to be a better year for all of us, right? It's going to definitely be a better year, 100%. Just don't let shit get you down, all right? Look at me. There's a lot of shit that went on this year that really, man, it could have fucked me, you know? Stuff that should have went right didn't, but look, it is what it is. It's gone. 2021 is a better year. We got it. So, lads, I'm going to leave it here. Hope y'all enjoyed this live stream. Big up to everyone who was involved. Big up to Joe, Sarah, Troll Network, everyone. Big up to Sarah every time. But lassies, I'll leave you here. 2-hour live stream, exactly. Big up to everyone. You probably see me on Sunday. Helen in at the last minute. Happy New Year. Hashtag GMAS rocks. Everyone. Big up to everyone. Lads, it's been fun. It's been tiring. I'm going to go and have that single can of Guinness that I have in the fridge for the last 3 hours, 4 hours. Lads, I'll talk to you. Peace. Oh, before I go.